Okay. Erica, any pains or injuries with you? Okay. All right, good day, everyone. This is Stephen Cheng coming to you live from 333 Grand in downtown Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the hybrid schedule, which is in person here at 333 Grand, as well as through Zoom. You can register for class through ubindi.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, classes are $10, and you can pay through Venmo or PayPal. Payment information is on the bottom of the video. Today's class is basics. It is a level 1, the ABCs of yoga. Today in particular, I think what I'm going to do is this. I will talk you through every pose and how to move within the pose as if I was doing it. So I'll give you all the pointers on how I watch for alignment, as well as how I come into the pose, so that new people can understand how to go into the poses in a very sequential way so that there's no struggle, and that as you move into the pose, you're looking for all the alignment cues so that you have proper placement as you come into the full expression of the pose. All right, let's sit up tall. Oh, also, if you're working with any kind of special conditions or injuries, make sure that you do modify or skip poses altogether. And always be mindful not to create any injuries by making some good decisions about what is appropriate and what is not appropriate for your body. All right, let's sit up tall. If we need to elevate, we can sit up on a block. Okay, let the palms face up. Fingers come to Jnana Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching, and with your eyes closed, start to center the breath. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. And as you start to connect to the breath, also start to connect to your spine. As you ground evenly through your seat, through the inhale, let the crown of the head reach upwards toward the sky as you lengthen. And then with the exhale, grounding firmly and evenly through your seat. Inhaling again, expansion of your lungs in all directions. And then with the exhale, empty it all out. Continue to take the next few breaths at your own pace. Three ohms together. Inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer in front of the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Chanting the mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call and response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Vushtan, Gatopiwa, Gatopiwa, Yaha Smarit, Bundrikaksham, Sapahya, Bihyandraha, Suchihi. Beginning to open the eyes and let the palms face up. Fingers come back to Jnana Mudra. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, draw the right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side of the head, pulling gently to elongate through the left side of the neck. And then draw the chin toward the right shoulder and continue to pull softly to the back of the head. So you're still stretching the neck, also the back of the neck now. Inhale, release, come back to center, drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. A little bit of pressure, creating more stretch through the side of the neck. And then chin toward the left shoulder and pulling to the back of the head and stretching the back of the neck a little bit as well. Release, come back to center, drop left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction, draw the ear to one side, roll it back, opposite side, roll the center. Take a few more rounds in that same direction. So using this movement to move your neck and your shoulders. And take one more giant circle, chin back toward the chest and pause. And then take in the opposite direction, moving just as slowly. And chin back toward the chest again. And then lifting the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine. Extend the legs forward, separating your feet. With your hands to either side, sit up tall. And then turning your toes toward each other. And then roll the toes out. Draw in, roll out. Draw in. This time as you roll out, take outer rotations as you circle the ankles. So you're moving your hip joints, knee joints, ankle joints. And back to center, switch them around. Inner rotations, opposite direction. And take it back to center again. Cross your shins, but this time take the non-dominant shin on top, the other crossing of the legs. It might feel a little bit awkward, a little bit tighter. Inhale, raising the arms up high. Extend, exhale, twist to the right. Right hand behind you, left hand to the right knee, and rotating through the central axis, your spine, and twisting through a vertical line. Inhale, take it back to center, arms up. Exhale, other side, left hand behind you, right hand to left knee. Elongate through the spine, rotate, and then if you can, look behind you past your left shoulder. Inhale, take it back to center, arms up. Exhale, side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. So as you ground through your left feet down and anchoring down, reach your left fingertips and get lengthy through your left side. And gently looking up toward the ceiling. Inhale, take it back to center. Exhale, other side. Left hand down, right arm overhead. So ground through the right feet down, extend through the right fingertips, and reach up and look up toward the sky as well. Inhale, take it back to center. Extend the legs forward again. Exhale, forward fold. Now let's start with your knees bent and flex through your feet. Grabbing the top of the shins, elongate through the spine, and make sure you keep that lengthy spine as you hinge at the hips and draw forward. Now, as you draw forward, you're stretching your lower back. Now, this bent knee position is easy. You can reach your heels slightly further forward and maybe still bending the knees a little bit. So as you draw forward and you gain the flexibility, maybe you can straighten out the legs fully, and then you can grab your feet, ankles, or your shins. And as you draw forward, keeping a neutral spine, you're stretching the lower back. Inhale, release. Come back to center. Bend your knees, step the feet to the floor, and pivot to the heel. And let's go a little bit wider, about mat twist. And take the hands back behind you for support. You're going to windshield wipe your knees side to side. And this will give you a little bit of openness into the hips and the lower back. And beginning to warm up the lower back. All right. Come back to center. Move the left heel slightly further forward so you can take right ankle on top of the left knee. Make sure you flex your right foot and the ankle on top of the knee and draw the left heel in. And then you can step the left foot down. Good. And then make sure you flex your right foot, elongate through the spine, and then you're trying to draw the torso toward the right shin. Okay? So you're going to the right hip joint. And start to release by moving your left heel further forward. Step the right heel down. Then take left ankle to right knee, flex your left foot, and then draw the heel in, step the foot down, and then lift the torso with a neutral spine, and moving your chest toward the left shin. All right, Jim, let's flex your left foot a little bit more strongly. Good. Right, when you're in a figure four position like this, and you put pressure onto your ankles, you're also pulling to the outer knee joint, right? And so if you disengage, you can actually overexert the outer knee joint. So if you flex your foot, you're engaging the muscles around the ankle joint and the knee joint to keep them in place. And start to release. Move your right heel forward, move your left heel forward. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Raise the arms up high. Exhale. Let's come forward again. You can grab your feet or your inner legs and then neutral through your spine. Hinge at the hips to draw forward. Now, if you're quite tight in the lower back and your hips, you might be a little higher. But as long as you're feeling for the lower back stretch, that is fine. If you have a little bit more mobility, you're keeping that neutral spine and just taking it further forward. And take it back up. Let's take 90-90. Draw the left heel in and the right heel back. So you want to sit on the outer left hip, and the left hip lines up with the knee vertically to the side of the mat, and then the shin is parallel to the front of the mat, so 90 degrees, and do the same thing with the back heel. So it's 90-90. Right? And then you're going to take the hands to either side of the left leg and square over your left leg. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then keeping that neutral spine, you can lean forward. So you should feel a stretch to the outer left leg, outer left hip. Keep your left hand on the floor, reach your right hand forward, and stay on your fingertips. So you're very strong in your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, crawl the right fingertips further forward and traction your fingertips to the floor. So as you draw forward, you should feel to the outer left leg, outer left hip once again. Now stay in that height. You're going to walk your hands over to the left. So as you walk the right hand to your left side, adjust your left hand for more support. So you might have to walk even further to your left. So now you're adding a rotation into your spine as you forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take it even further. You can reach your right hand even further forward. The further you reach your right hand out, the more stretch into your right arm, right shoulder, and across the mid-back to the outer left leg, outer left hip. So it's a contralateral stretch. If you have it in you to take it even further to your left, you can walk your right hand into your left, adjust your left hand further back, rotate some more to your left, and then fold. And then you can reach your right hand further forward once again. So the further you twist, the further you forward fold, the deeper the stretch. All right, start to walk your hands back in, lift the torso, square the torso back to center, keep the legs as they are, and counter twist to the right. Square back to center, pick up the right knee, step the right foot down to the floor. You're going to move the right heel further out to the side and pivot to the heel. So you want your foot to be far enough away so that it doesn't feel like you're fully extended, but also doesn't feel like you're too close and you're compressed, right? You want a little bit of space because we're going to frame your left leg again and we're going to roll the knee forward and back. So you want to be able to be mobile with your knee without obstructing, right? So you don't want your hand in the way and obstruct. So you want the hand closer toward the inner thigh, okay? So as you're ready, roll the right knee forward, roll the right knee back. Roll the right knee forward, roll the right knee back. One more time. Roll forward, roll back. Keep the right knee rolling back with your right hand. Press into your inner right thigh, ground to your left hand, and supporting with your left hand and push your thigh away, going into the inner right thigh, into the right hip. Release. Draw the left heel in closer. Swing the right leg forward and intersect the right heel with your left ankle. And you're, again, sitting to the outer left leg, outer left hip. Left hand to the floor for support. Right arm up and fold forward. Good. Now actively draw the right knee in toward the right shoulder. So you want ultimately your right shin to be vertical to the floor. So you should feel a nice stretch to your lower back as you fold forward. If you want to add on with your right fingertips actively reaching forward, you can get a lengthier right arm, right shoulder. Now, if this is easy and you want to go further, you can take a bind. Wrap the right arm around the right shin for half bind, or if you can balance and take a full bind, you can wrap the left hand behind you and forward fold. If that is too much for you, stay with your left hand down, right hand forward. And start to release. Walk the hands back in, lift the torso up. Keep the legs as they are, and twist to the right. Wrap the left arm around your right knee and twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, counter twist to your left. Back to center again. Step the right foot further forward. Lift the seat. Support with your hands and step the left foot back for warrior one. So as you support with your hands, check that the right foot points forward. So that means the inner edge of the right foot is parallel to the side of the mat and the toes are pointing straight forward. And come all the way up to warrior one. When you take your warrior one, your right knee should be lined up over the heel with a vertical line. So ideally, you want the legs to be 90 degrees. If that's too tight for you, right, you can step it in just a little bit. It could be less than 90, and that is fine. Arms up high. Extend through your fingertips. Square the hips and the torso facing forward. Arms straight up alongside the ears. Warrior one. Grounding firmly through the back heel down. Open it up. Warrior two. So again, let's check your alignment. Make sure that the right toes stay pointing forward and the knee lines up directly over the heel. You might be able to see the inside of the foot. The arms are parallel, reaching opposite directions. You can look forward. You can look back to make sure that they are parallel. And then look forward again. This is your warrior two. Flip the front palm. Reverse warrior. Left hand to support your leg. Right arm up and overhead for the side stretch. And then exhale, side angle. Right arm to top of the right leg if you need to modify. If you can touch your right hand to flow comfortably, take the hand down and then left arm reaching up, and that is your side angle. Inhale, take it all the way back up, warrior two. On the exhale, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back, plank pose, top of a push-up. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. And then walk your hands alongside the rib cage, elbows in toward the ribs. On the inhale, lift up baby cobra. So your belly and your lower ribs stay on the floor. Lift the upper back. On the exhale, lower almost all the way down, so you're still hovering. Inhale, this time, lift up a little bit higher, so your belly and your lower ribs come away from the floor. On the exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up all the way to the best of your abilities. If you have full extension of your arms, take it. If that's too much, then keep your elbows bent. That is fine. So this is your Cobra Pose, a back bend. Bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Child's Pose, feet toward the heels and fold forward. And then lift back up for down dog. Walk your feet forward toward your hands. Take the seat down. Extend the legs forward. 90-90 second side. So draw the right heel in, left heel back. And let's measure out that the right hip lines up with the right knee, parallel to the side of the mat. Right heel forward, shin parallel to the front of the mat, 90 degrees. Same thing with the back leg, 90 degrees. Frame your hands to either side of the right leg, looking forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to lean the torso forward with a neutral spine. So you want to keep the spine neutral, not rounded in either direction. Then keep the right hand to your floor, reach your left hand forward. Staying on your fingertips, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach further forward to get more stretch through your left arm, left shoulder. And then also you should feel a nice stretch through the outer right leg, outer right hip. Stay low here. Let's go off to the right side. So walk your left hand to the right side, then adjust your right hand further back, rotate, and then reach your left hand further forward for the stretch. All right, so Jim, feeling for that stretch? Okay, good. All right, let's take that further to the right. So walk your left hand to the right, adjust your right hand further out, rotate, and then reach your left hand further out to deepen the stretch, deepen the twist. And start to walk your left hand back in to lift the torso back up. Square back to center, and then counter twist to your left. Square back to center again. Support with your hands. Pick up the left knee and step the left foot down. So move the left heel far enough forward so that you feel that you have a comfortable spot and a stable spot. Pivot to your left heel. Then, with your hands to either side of the right leg, you're going to roll the left knee forward. Roll the left knee back. So maybe, Jim, walk your foot in just a little bit. Yeah. In toward you. There you go. Yeah. And the outer right thigh, you can lean the thigh to the floor if you can. No, okay, so that's okay. Even if it's high, as long as you're fully supported, okay? Then roll the left knee forward again. Roll the left knee back. Roll the left knee forward. Roll the left knee back. Stay there. Ground the right palms for support. And with your left hand, push your inner left thigh away from you. And that gives you the stretch of the inner left thigh, inner left hip joint. Release. Draw the right heel closer in. Swing the left leg forward. Adjust your seating. Then intersect your left heel with your right ankle. And you're sitting on the outer right hip, outer right leg. And the left seat comes off the floor and spine. Right hand to floor for support. Left arm up. And then reach forward and grip the fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, traction your left fingertips even further forward. I feel that the left knee is drawing toward the left shoulder, coming back to a vertical shin. You are welcome to stay here or start to wrap the left arm around the left shin for the half bind. If this is good enough, stay here. If you have the flexibility and the extension to take the full bind, take that and forward fold. If that's not for you, stay with your right hand down, left arm forward, and stay in the basic pose. All right, release. Inhale, take it back up. Keep the legs as they are. Twist to your left. Wrap the right arm around your left knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, counter twist to the right. Back to center again. Warrior one. Step the left foot forward. Start to lift the seat. Support with your hands to either side and step the right foot back. Let's check your alignment. Left toes point straight forward, which means the side of the foot is parallel to the side of the mat. Ground to the back heel down. Rise up. Check that the left knee is directly over the heel, vertical line. And if you have more flexibility, maybe your thigh is about parallel to the floor. If that is too much, you can go a little bit higher, and that is fine. Arms up to either side and extend. You're looking to square the torso to face forward. So this is warrior one. On the exhale, open it up for warrior two. So the legs more or less stay in place, and then you're just rotating through the torso, extending. Check your alignment again. Left knee over the heel. You should be able to see the inside of the foot. Arms are parallel. You can look forward. You can look back to make sure that they are in place. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Left arm up and back, stretching your left side. Exhale, side angle. You can modify elbow to top of the knee or the left hand to the floor, right arm reaching up. Inhale, take it all the way back up, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor, left foot stepping back, plank. And again, lower all the way down to the belly. Walk the hands slightly back, elbows alongside the ribs. 3 progressive cobras again. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Belly and your lower ribs on the floor. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher, so belly and ribs away from the floor. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher, full extension of the arms if you have it, slight bending of the elbows if you need it. So depending on your back bend, right, you might not get there yet. That's okay. So bend the elbows and go with less intensity. And bend the elbows all the way down, child's pose, seat toward the heels, and fold. Inhale, lift the torso up. Let's sit on your shins. All right, so this should give you a nice quad stretch, knee stretch, shins, and top of the ankles. Right hand to the floor, left arm up, and let's side bend to the right. Take it back to center. Bend your left elbow and lean the upper torso and the elbow reaching up and back, looking upward. Come back to a neutral spine. Left elbow to the right knee, so cross over. Inhale, take it back to vertical. Left elbow to the right knee. Let's do that 3 times. Inhale, lift back up. 1 more. Left elbow to the right knee. Inhale, take it back up. Re-extend the left arm, left hand to your floor. Switch sides, right arm up and side bending to your left. Take it back up to vertical. Bend your right elbow. Lift the chest, lift the right elbow up and back, and gently look up as well, going into a back bend. Come back up to vertical to a neutral spine. Then right elbow to your left knee. Inhale, take it back up 3 times. Right elbow to your left knee. Inhale, take it back up. Right elbow to your left knee. Inhale, take it back up. Re-extend the right arm. Right hand comes to the floor. Walk your hands forward. Tuck the toes under and lift the seat. So you're standing on your knees this time. Now, if your knees are sensitive and this is a little bit rough for your knees, you can take extra padding by folding your mat maybe a third of the way back in space so you can triple up your mat. So that's extra padding if you need it. Tuck the toes under, and you should have about 1/5 distance between your knees. Okay? So that will give you about hips width distance. Take the hands to your lower back. So your palms are supporting your lower back and your fingers around the top of the glutes. Draw the elbows back in space to broaden your chest. Lean the hips slightly forward and lean the upper torso back. So this is the beginning of your back bend in Ustrasana, your camel pose. Now, this is easy, pretty accessible for you, and you want to go deeper. You can reach your hands back towards your heels. And if that is too tight for you, stay with your hands supporting to your lower back. All right, lift the head, lift the torso, come out of the pose, and then walk your hands forward, coming to hands and knees, and then tucking your toes under. Let's round the spine. So draw the navel in towards the spine, chin toward the chest, and dome the middle of the back up toward the sky. And that's the opposite of what you just did. So this is a forward fold or a rounded back, whereas the other was a back bend. Come to neutral, lift the knees, down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up, 3-legged dog. Step the right foot forward between your hands. Again, check for your alignment, right toes point forward. Ground the back heel down. Warrior 1. Wrap the hands back behind you, interlace your fingers, broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back, and then also lean the upper torso back. This is your back bend, gently looking up, ecstatic warrior. Exhale, bow forward, devotional warrior. Crown of the head toward the inside of the foot. If you can, keep reaching your knuckles up. Inhale, take it all the way back up, warrior 1, releasing your hands, arms up high. Exhale, open it up, warrior 2. Lengthen out the front leg for triangle pose. So once you lengthen out the right leg, draw the left hip slightly back as you reach your right hand further forward, positioning your torso, and then right hand to top of the shins if you're less flexible, right hand to the floor if you're more flexible, and left arm reaching up. . When you come out of the pose, if you need to bend your right knee to come out of the pose so it's easier for your hamstrings, go ahead and take it. Otherwise, if you have strong, flexible hamstrings and you can come up with straight legs, you can go ahead and do that. Inhale, take it up into reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back plank. This time we'll do a full push-up. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, Chaturanga push-up. Roll over your toes, stay on top of the feet, lift up for up dog, your thighs off the floor. Exhale, roll it back, down dog. Inhale, left heel up, three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward. Warrior one, ground the back heel down, arms up high. So always, as you make your way up, you're checking alignment. Left toes forward, left knee over the heel, ground strongly through your feet. Wrap the hands back behind you, interlace. Taking the other thumb on top, broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back, take it into back bend by lifting the sternum up and gently looking up as well. On the exhale, bow forward, devotional warrior, crown of the head to the inside of the foot. If you can, keep reaching your knuckles up and overhead. Inhale, take it all the way back up, warrior one. Exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Lengthen out the left leg, triangle pose. Draw the right hip slightly back, reach your left hand further forward, and hand to top of the shin or to the floor, right arm up. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Reverse triangle, left arm up and back. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, left foot stepping back plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, push up, Chaturanga, bending at the elbows, lower the chest, 4 to 6 inches away from floor. Roll over your toes, keep your thighs off the floor, lift the chest, up dog. Roll it back for down dog. Then start to walk your feet forward toward your hands, toward the front of the mat, and separating your feet about mat's width distance. Take the left hand to center, creating a tripod. Bend your left knee, but keep the right leg extended, and raise your right arm up to twist. Extend it. Right palm face down and reach forward, parallel to the floor. Right arm up and behind you for the half bind, either to your lower back, or if you can reach for your inner left thigh, take the inner left thigh, your choice. Raise your left arm back up, left hand to the floor. With both hands on the floor, square off. You're going to bend the knees and let the seat drop a little bit. Then lift the head and the upper back. So now your spine is more neutral. So you're in a semi-squatting position. Once you have a nice steady position, arms out to either side and extend. Crown of the head is reaching forward, tail is reaching back, arms are reaching in opposite directions. Reach the arms forward, and then lift the upper torso about 45 degrees. Stay in that squatting position. So this is a wide-legged chair position. So by now, your quads are probably beginning to feel some activity, right? The tail's reaching back, crown of the head is reaching forward. Keep extending. On the inhale, lengthen out the legs, lift all the way up, and slightly leaning back for a back bend to neutralize all of that. Come back to neutral spine. Step the right foot in towards center. Pick up the left knee, tree pose. Open up the knee to the left side and using your left hand to grab the foot. If you can, place your foot, your left foot to your inner right thigh above the knee joint. If your hips are tight and that throws off your balance, then go below the knee joint. It's a lot easier. And then raise both arms up in a wide position. Keep the gaze at the floor slightly ahead of you to help you to balance. Good. Keep the gaze at the floor slightly ahead of you, and the gaze to the floor slightly ahead of you might be easier than straight in front of you. Good. So maybe James here is better. Jim, sorry, Jim. Jim. Look over here, because straight down might be too low, but slightly forward will give you better vision to balance. There you go. All right, let's stay here for a few more breaths. For those of us who are more advanced and you want to take some other poses, you can wrap the hands back behind you for the heart opener. You can go sideways for the side bend. Left arm to left leg, right arm overhead. All right, when you're ready to break, take the arms back up, draw the left knee forward, step the left foot down. Feet together, knees together. Bend the knees for chair. Let's come back to your chair. So in your chair, you want to take the gaze slightly to the floor again. You want to shift the hips slightly back in space so that when you look down past your knees, you can see your toes. You want to keep this, the torso neutral, the tail is reaching back, crown of the head reaching forward. Just like in our wide-legged position, except your inner thighs and your feet are together this time. Exhale, lengthen and dive forward. Stay in the forward fold, walk your feet out about mat's width once again. All right, this time, right hand in towards center, bend your right knee, raise the left arm up to twist. Half bind, left hand behind you, either to your lower back or your inner right thigh if you can reach. Then raise your left arm up and forward. Actually, I reversed it, didn't I? I did this first before we took the half bind, so anyway. All right, take the left hand to the floor. With both hands supporting, bend the knees, let the feet drop a little bit. Lift the head and the upper back so you're back into neutral spine. Once you're nice and stable, this time, arms are reaching forward. Tail strongly reaching back, crown of the head, fingertips reaching forward, getting lengthy, but also strong for your quads. Keeping arm positioning, this time lift the upper torso to raise to about 45 degrees. On the inhale, lengthen out the legs, lift up and slightly leaning back once again for the back bend. Come back to neutral. Step the left foot in towards center. Pick up the right knee. Open up the knee to the side. With your right hand, grab for the foot. Go above the knee joint if you can. Below the knee joint if that is too difficult. And arms reaching out once again. Stay steady in your balance here. Or, if you took additional variations, wrapping hands back behind you. If you took side bending to the right. Now, Jim, just make sure the placement of your foot. If you're going to place your foot here, that most of the weight is on the heel. You don't want to press your foot against the knee joint directly, right? You want to go either above or below. But if you're roughly here, but most of the way is to the heel, you're still okay. You just don't want to press into the ankle, the knee joint, okay? So make sure you clarify that for yourself. All right, square back, step the right foot down, chair, feet together, knees together. Draw the seat back, crown of the head reaching forward, arms reach forward. Now, once you have your chair pose, this time we're going to take the arms alongside the hips but reach back. When you reach back, I want you to find length through the sides of the neck and the top of the shoulders. So your legs and your torso are still in your chair position, but your arms are reaching back instead of reaching forward. It almost looks like a ski jump. On the exhale, lengthen your legs and dive forward, standing forward bend. Walk your feet back in space for down dog. Inhale, left heel up. Step the left foot forward, right knee comes down, crescent moon. So here, if your knees are sensitive again, you can take extra padding by taking your mat, right side folding towards center to double up your mat. If you have a blanket or a towel, you can use that as well. Then walk the hands to top of the thighs and lunge your hips forward. Now, this is where you want to take the placement again. Left foot always pointing forward, side of the foot parallel to side of the mat. You want the heel to be grounding down. And once you reach your hips to the maximum, you should end up with a vertical line once again in your shins. And take both hands to top of the thighs, actively lunge forward to get into the stretch of the quads, into your hips, into your psoas. All right, once you settle in and you are pretty solidly balancing here, then press your hands into your thighs and lean the belly away from the thighs and the upper torso leaning back, and you're going to start to gently look upwards toward the sky. And that's the beginning of your back bend as you maintain your hip opener and your quad stretch. Once you're here, feeling pretty solid, you're ready to take the arms up. Venus Mudra, index fingers pointing up, interlacing all the other fingers. Now, if your shoulders are mobile enough, your arms go alongside the ears and maybe even further back. But if that's too tight, your arms can go slightly forward. Good. Now, if your shoulders are pretty tight and even hands together is difficult for you with your arms forward, you can separate your arms a little bit. All right, so you don't want to struggle with your shoulders too much here. You want to just work comfortably, right, into the pose, the hips moving forward, upper torso, arms moving back. And start to release, hands to either side, half split. Tuck the back toes under you, and then shift the hips back to line up over your right knee. Then start to flex your left foot, pivot to the heel, stretch the back of the left leg. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, deepen in the fold. So you should feel a nice left hamstring stretch. And depending on your placement, you might even also feel quite a significant stretch to your calves as well. And start to step the left foot back down again. Frame your left foot with your hands. Pick up the right knee. You're in a low lunge. Right hand stays on the floor. Left arm up to twist. Reach your left arm forward. Extended, revolved. Half bind. Left arm up and behind you. Twist even deeper. Release your left hand back down. Ground the back heel. Warrior one. Arms up high. Exhale. Open it up. Warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, half moon. Left hand forward from your toes by about a foot and a little bit off to left side so that you're in a slight diagonal. Tip forward to balance on the left hand, left foot, right arm up. You want to flex your right foot and start to stack the right side over your left. So you want to rotate the hips, flex your right foot strongly. Right, flex your right foot. That's pointing the other way. Yes, there you go. Reach back through your heel like you're stepping up against the wall, and that will activate that right leg and also activate your left leg. Right? When you're not looking, you can't tell the difference between pointing and flexing, right? Begin to step it back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stretch it out. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left foot, stepping back plank. And let's lower all the way down to the belly for Sphinx Pose. Walk your hands slightly forward, take the forearms down. You want to grab opposite elbows, and that will help you to measure out shoulders width, and then take the forearms back down. You want to check that the shoulders line up over your elbows, because if your arms are too far forward, you're going to collapse. It's even worse when your arms are back, right? So you want a vertical line so you can press into your elbows to lift. There you go. And then once you have that, you want to press your belly and your lower ribs toward the floor, which helps to lengthen your lower back. Then press your forearms down and lift your chest in opposition. So your belly and your ribs press down, but the upper back is lifting away. So this your Sphinx pose is a mid back bend, your thoracic back bend. You want to reach back through your toes actively, but you don't want to also engage through your glutes too much, right? So you want a little bit of engagement, that's okay, but just don't squeeze the glutes. Press into your hands. Lift the elbows up. Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Right? Maybe this is good enough. Stay here if it's good enough for you. If you want more depth, more intensity, bend the elbows a little bit. Walk your hands in, one hand print. Then, with the elbows bent, you're going to circle the shoulders forward, up, and as you draw back, you're going to lengthen out the arms, lift up higher. So the higher up you go, the more intense the back bend, the lower the back bend. And start to release, draw all the way down, and again, child's pose. Feet toward the heels, and fold. Nice and slow, make your transition. Lift back up, sitting on the shins again. Take the hands together in prayer. Interlace your fingers, then flip the palms to press the palms forward as you draw the chin toward the chest and round the back. Inhale, lift, reach your palms up, and maybe even tilt back just a little bit. Gently look up as well. Keep that positioning of your torso, releasing your hands. Wrap the hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Broaden your shoulders. Reach your knuckles even further back, and maybe even deepen the back bend by leaning back. Come back to neutral, release. Take the hands together in prayer. Interlace with the other thumb on top. So this is your non-dominant interlacing of your hands. Reach your palms forward, round the spine, chin toward the chest. Inhale, lift up, reach your palms up, and maybe even lean back just a little. So this an upper and mid back bend as well as a shoulder opener. Right? Keep the torso, releasing your hands. Wrap the hands back behind you, other thumb on top, so non-dominant interlacing. Draw the shoulders to open, reach your knuckles away, and maybe even tilt back even more to deepen that back bend. Come back to neutral, release. Left hand behind you, right hand to the outer left knee, and twist to your left. Look past your left shoulder behind you. Back to center, switch sides. Right hand to your floor behind you, left hand to outer right leg, and twist. Look past your right shoulder behind you. Release, square back. Walk your hands forward, hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. And then on the exhale, round the spine again. Tailbone tucking toward the heels, chin toward the chest. Dome the middle of the back up toward the sky. Release back to neutral. Lift the knees, down dog. Inhale, right heel up. Step the right foot forward, left knee comes down, crescent moon. So if you need extra padding, folding the mat, left side towards center, take the knee to a blanket or a towel if you need. So again, lunging the hips forward. Once you get to the maximum, your right knee should line up over the right heel, toes are pointing straight forward, right heel is grounding to the floor. And then once you lean the hips forward, press your hands to your thighs and lean the upper torso back. So as you lean the upper torso back, you're thinking the belly away from the thighs. And you're gently looking up at a slight angle. And once all that is set and you're feeling solid, arms up, Venus Mudra, arms up and back. And again, if hands together in a prayer in a Venus Mudra is too much for your shoulders, you can separate your hands. or you can move your arms slightly forward. So there are multiple ways. Now, for those of us with maybe shoulder injuries, right, you might want to go forward and really wide. And even if this is difficult, you can bend your elbows, right? So you can raise your arms and get some of that opening to the shoulders without stressing the shoulders by bending at the elbows or taking your arms slightly forward instead of up and back, which requires a lot more flexibility. And start to release, hands to either side of the right foot. Tuck the left toes under, shift back for the half split. So you want to shift the hips over your left knee, flex your right foot, inhale, lengthen, exhale, folding forward. All right, begin to step the right foot back down, shift them back forward. Hands to support and lift up to a low lunge. Left hand stays on the floor, right arm up to twist. Extend the right arm forward, extend it revolved. Half bind, right arm up and behind you. Use the resistance of the right hand to your lower back so that you can draw the front of the right shoulder up and back, deepening your twist. All right, release your right arm up and back down to the floor for support. Ground the back heel, come up for warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Reverse warrior, stretch your right side to prepare. Exhale, half moon. Right hand forward from your toes by about a foot, a little off to right side. Now keep the gaze looking to the floor to check your balance. Then raise your left arm up. So you want to flex your left foot strongly. Reach back for your heel. You want to open up the hips to your left side, stacking your left side over your right. Here, the hand to the top of the block. Yeah. Good. Good. Step strongly into the inner right foot, and now draw your weight back toward the center. There you go. Good. Right, we're not used to this kind of asymmetrical, weird-shaped balance, right? It is quite difficult, right? But as you start to repeat the balances in these weird shapes, your body will start to learn, okay, what do I have to do? How do I leverage my weight? Where do I put weight in order to check the balance? All right, begin to break, step it back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back, plank, and lower all the way down to the belly. All right, let's take that Sphinx pose again. Take the forearms down, grab opposite elbows to measure off a shoulder's width. Then take the arms to parallel, check that the right shoulder and the right elbows line up to a vertical line. Press your belly and your lower ribs down. Press your forearms down to lift your chest in opposition. Now the gaze, right, is not straightforward because when you look straight forward in this position, you're crunching the back of the neck. You should actually look slightly down and ahead of you. So I would say about 3 feet ahead of you will bring your neck to a much more neutral position. And then once you have all that positioning, reach back actively through your toes, but without over-engaging your glutes. Think about the belly and your lower ribs pressing toward the floor, which will start to lengthen your lower back, creating more space, but at the same time, pressing to your forearms to lift your upper back for the back bend. And to release out of this pose, you're going to press into your hands, lift the elbows slightly, draw the elbows out so you can lift your lower your chest, Walk your hands back alongside the ribs and then make your way back to child's pose, stretching your lower back. So coming out of the back bend into a forward bend in the opposite direction for neutralization. And lift back up to down dog. Let's take your pigeon. Raise your left leg up, three-legged dog. Draw the left knee in toward the nose and land the top of the left shin to the floor. So you're in a pointed toe position, land the shin to the floor in a diagonal. You want the left thigh to angle out to the left side, 30 to 45 degrees. With your hands supporting, inch your right knee further back, untuck the toes, walk your hands back, and lift the upper torso. You want to feel like you're standing on the shins. You want to feel like your hips are level and that your torso is in balance. If you did this right, you may not even need your hands for balance, right? So once you have this positioning and you're ready, now you can walk your hands forward. You can stay on your forearms and stay up a little higher, or you can make pillows with the hands and rest your forehead. So as you sink into this pose, you should feel a nice hip opener. Now, as you reach your right toes back in space, you should feel lengthiness and space through the front of the right hip. I'll give you a good 10 breaths here. If you like to start to take some variations on your own, feel free to. But for more basic students, maybe just staying in a passive pigeon here in a forward fold is good enough. Now, for those of you who want to take this pigeon with a back bend, you can walk your hands in, lift the torso with both hands supporting. You can just lift and lean back, and this could be a very nice hip opener and a back bend at the same time. Is everybody okay if I run over by about 5 minutes today? Is okay? Okay. 2 more breaths. And then let's start to break. Lift the torso back up. Ground the palms to the floor. Tuck the right toes under and press up to step right back to the down dog. And once you get to down dog, pedal out the legs side to side like a runner's stretch, just so that you can get some circulation back to your legs. So Jim, when you take down dog like this, it's okay for your wrists, right? It's not too much. Okay. All right, come back to stillness and down dog. Second side, right leg up. Draw the right knee in toward the nose. Land the right shin to the floor so you're in a pointed toe position. Right knee, right thigh, angles out 30 to 45 degrees with your hands supporting. Inch your left knee further back, untuck the toes, and then also walk your hands back and lift the torso higher. So you want to feel that you're balancing on the shins. Your hips are level. If you did this right, you may not even need your hands for support. Right? Once you are set, now you're ready to take it forward. Forearms down or make pillows for hands and rest your forehead. And then for those of you who took additional variations, feel free to repeat. So I took a simple hip opener with a back bend by lifting my torso. So by walking the hands in and lifting the torso to a more vertical line, I'm adding a back bend into my hip opening. So Erica, stay there. Press more firmly into your right tricep to lift the torso a little higher, and then lean the left shoulder and the upper back in space. You see, it's giving you more stretch to your lower back, right? So you want that tension of leaning back but pressing your tricep into your foot as resistance, and that'll give you a lot more stretch and a lot more intensity into the pose. And because otherwise, if you just collapse into your right foot, you're not really feeling anything. You want to lift and lean back. Yeah, there you go. Two more deep breaths. And begin to draw your torso back up, ground the palms. Tuck the left toes under and press it right back to the down dog and take lots of movement side to side here. Once you're feeling pretty neutral and you're ready, walk your feet forward toward your hands. Take the seat down to the floor, extending the legs forward with your hands supported to either side, lower onto your back. Recline twisting. Hug the left knee in toward the chest. Keep the right leg extended out to the floor. Left arm goes out to a T. Ground the left arm and left shoulder blade to the floor and twist to the right. You're going to roll to outer right hip, outer right leg. And then if the left knee touches the floor, fantastic. If not, just stay hovering in space, rotating at the spine. Gently take the left knee back to center, switch legs, switch arms, and twist the other direction. Right arm out to a T and twist to your left. So you're rolling to the outer left hip, outer left leg, rotating at the spine. Now keep the right arm, right shoulder blade flat to the floor, right? And that is anchoring you down. And then the twist will only go as deep as you can maintain the stability of the right shoulder blade to the floor. Take it back to center. Hug both knees in. And this to help you equal out your left and your right side. And when you're feeling pretty even on both sides, step the feet to the floor. Slide the legs forward. Shavasana, final relaxation. Separate your feet. Toes are turned out. Arms alongside. Palms face up. Eyes are closed. Let everything go. Let the floor support. beginning to draw your breath back in. And start to move the fingers and the toes. When you're ready, reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions. And rolling over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Let's take your non-dominant shin on top. So again, if you're not used to this, it might feel a little bit awkward, a little bit tighter than the first side, but hopefully it'll be easier than when you first did it at the beginning of class. Palms face up, fingers come back to Jnana Mudra. Reconnecting to an even seat, a lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. Hands together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing in the practice. Inhale, come up. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And thank you for sharing your practice with me. My name again is Stephen Cheng, coming to you live from 333 Grand in downtown Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the hybrid schedule, which is in person here at 333 Grand, as well as through Zoom. And you can register for class through ubidi.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, classes are $10, and you can pay through Venmo or PayPal. Payment information is on the bottom of the video. Thank you again for sharing your practice. Be well. See you soon.